your forecast first. Sponsored by Natex Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Well, after nearly 2 days of very strong winds across the area, we're finally seeing those winds begin to calm down. Only 10 miles an hour in Champaign when those gusts were closer to 50 over the past 24 hours. But these winds will continue to relax as we go throughout tonight and into the day tomorrow. We've had cloud cover, we've had light rain showers moving through. All of those are also beginning to push off to the east, and we're going to be done with the rain. So the rain clears, the winds calm down, and now the temperatures are falling back down into the low 60s, feeling very comfortable. Looks like another nice day coming at us for tomorrow. Near 80, but low humidity. We'll talk more about how long that sticks around coming up. WCIA3 News starts right now.
Now from WCIA3 News.
For the first time, I'm asking all of our community to listen to the black community.
It was a plea to city leaders, why they say they're listening.
This is a public health crisis.
Plus, it cost the state and you more than a pretty penny to fight COVID-19. What the bill was and where all that money went. And a hug is a simple act, but some wonder if it'll be safe to do it anytime soon.
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA3 News at 10.
So it's time for us to roll up our sleeves. It's time for us to put in the work and be committed to doing the work.
From marches to meetings, a community organization is building on the momentum to push for a change. Good evening, I'm Paul Cicchini. The Champaign County Community Coalition met for the first time today since roughly 1,000 people took to the street for the Pain to Peace March this weekend. WCIA3's Jen Lask watched the meeting and shares how leaders are moving forward.
So for the first time, I'm asking all of our community to listen to the black community.
Tracy Parsons is calling on city leaders for more spaces like this one to have difficult conversations on race.
Today as mayor, I know we must go deeper to the very heart of the matter, which is the violence of racism and racial bias.
Both Urbana Mayor Diane Marlin and Champaign Mayor Deb Finan say they plan to review policing strategies as well as economic and educational inequities. They, along with roughly 200 others on the call, listened as NAACP Champaign County President Minnie Pearson outlined national recommendations for police reforms such as
the use of force continuing for any police department in the country must be ensured that there are at least 6 levels of steps with clear rules on escalation.
Multiple law enforcement leaders spoke at the meeting as well, saying they want to listen and learn.
You are my community and I work for you. I'm here to hear from our citizens and to make sure that we implement and make the changes that the black community has been demanding for years.
The meeting comes on the heels of the Pain to Peace March led by teen organizers. Now, they're planning a rally for June 20th.
It's going to be kind of education-based. We want to have some speakers come out, some teachers.
And finding new ways to better the world for generations to come. In Champaign, Jen Lask, WCIA3, your local news leader.
That rally will focus on racism in education as well as the use of law enforcement officers in schools. They're setting up a social media week ahead of the rally to help more people learn about the impact of racism. Police reform activists across the country are calling to defund the police. But the president of the Springfield Black Lives Matter branch says that phrase can give the wrong impression. The idea is to take a portion of a department's budget and use it to pay for other programs, including the more specialized parts of a police officer's job.
It can perform tasks that might need to be better suited to a social worker or a nurse, and I think taking some of the money that's used in certain ways and reallocating that to some of those social service programs that are continually cut and desperately need funding might be able to alleviate some of the things that are on police officers' plates.
Springfield's mayor has said he's open to changes in police training and how cases are reviewed in the city. Activists in Springfield met with the mayor and police chief this week. The topic of funding reallocation did not come up, but more ideas will be discussed at the next meeting. Here's a follow-up now. The Piatt County Board chairman, who's accused of several crimes, wants the state's attorney to quit. Ray Spencer was indicted on felony charges of forgery and official misconduct in January. He's also accused of violating the state's Open Meetings Act last month. Spencer complained at today's board meeting. The state's attorney's office has started numerous investigations into the county board. He says it's a conflict of interest, but Dana Rhodes says it's not just her office that's digging. The FBI, state police, and grand juries are all looking into state and federal grant mismanagement in Piatt County stretching back 8 years. Rhodes says all of the investigations into the county remain open. A 1-year-old boy from Argenta is struggling for his life battling leukemia. It's extremely rare for babies to have this cancer, but Jasper was diagnosed in November. It's aggressive and spreading, and he's had chemo treatments almost every day since. He went into remission, but recently relapsed.
Sadly, it's the only life that he's known, and that's hard as a parent, you know, knowing that is all he knows. It makes it easier in a sense because he's comfortable in the hospital. But it's been, it's, you know, you take every day as it comes.
Now, his big sister chose to get her blood tested to see if she's a match. If she is, they'll be able to do a bone marrow transplant, which would help to keep him alive longer. The family will have to pay for all of those medical bills because insurance isn't covering it. Now, if you'd like to help, we'll have a link to their information at WCIA.com. Looking now to coronavirus numbers across the state, 625 people tested positive since yesterday. So far, Illinois has had nearly 130,000 cases. 78 more people have died. That brings the death toll in the state to almost 6,100. A survey from a prison watchdog group found nearly half of inmates didn't feel they had proper access to cleaning supplies during the initial spread of the pandemic. The John Howard Association conducts anonymous surveys at prisons across the state. Its executive director says the results weren't surprising, but she says the data will help them advocate for inmates' rights.
It enables us to have much more specific, concrete conversations with the Illinois Department of Corrections. And one of the things we're doing with the survey results is we are now circling back both with administrators at DOC and specific facility wardens with specific information that came out of their facility.
Prisons were a hotspot for spreading COVID-19 early on. The Illinois Department of Corrections reported 231 confirmed cases, with 213 recovering. Illinois shelled out more than $500 million so far in the fight against COVID-19. Target 3 investigator Mark Maxwell teamed up with WGN Investigates to dig through those expenses.
The federal government gave Illinois $3 billion to cover the cost of COVID-19. So how is the state spending that money, and what is a COVID-19 related expense anyways? State spending records show it's not always what you might expect. Things like lab tests or gloves and masks. In many cases, it's much more.
This is a public health crisis, but it is accompanied by massive economic disruption that's unprecedented in modern history.
3 months after Illinois' first known case of COVID-19, the land of Lincoln is now a national leader in bending the curve, reaching key medical benchmarks faster than any other state. But that progress has come with a price tag. The most recent records showing a stack of bills online worth $531 million.
Every penny of what you see on the COVID-19 portal is an allowable expense.
That means the feds will pay it back. But where does all that money go? In the flurry of spending, a WGN investigation found charter flights to China for masks and gloves cost $1.7 million, and 800 iPhones cost $460 grand. But that's not all. Our joint investigation found the state spent $104 million to reimburse the cost of meals for kids at schools and nonprofits. And when the Illinois Emergency Management Agency needed to produce a public service announcement, it gave a contract worth $395,000 to GMMB Inc., a Democratic consulting firm on the Pritzker campaign payroll. The governor's emergency powers allow him to cut through red tape and spend taxpayer funds in a hurry. But with so many checks going out the door, some Republicans want more checks and balances.
We've had virtually no oversight. We've been asking for months for the governor's office to share data, to share the data behind these data-driven decisions that they've been making.
Other big expenses, more than $8 million for medical staff at the Cook County Jail, where 762 inmates tested positive. And hiring enough staff to outfit the McCormick Center's massive makeshift field hospital cost taxpayers $11 million.
5 short days ago, this was an empty convention hall.
But even in Chicago, the surge of COVID-19 patients they prepared for never quite came. Only 38 patients were ever treated there. That site is now closed.
You know, in a situation where you make an incredible investment in a facility, only to have it not be used at all, you have to question, was I basing this off of data that was incorrect? Did I make some kind of assumption that wasn't right?
Whenever you do contingency planning, you prepare for the worst based on the information that you had.
That contingency plan included more than overflow hospital beds, also alternate housing in hotels. The state spent $3.5 million to rent 6 hotels for first responders, healthcare workers, or COVID-19 patients themselves who may need to isolate away from home.
We would have simply been negligent if we did not have a plan to be able to take those folks, get them off the streets, give them a place that they could isolate, quarantine, ensure that they were the COVID positives, they got over that, and then they had the ability to walk out of that facility clean of the virus. 2 hotels in Springfield, owned by the same company, won state contracts worth $1.3 million.
I'm not for any no-bid contracts. I don't like it, never have, never will. But during a pandemic, governing by committee isn't arguably the best response when people's lives are on the line.
3 months later, all 400 rooms remain empty. Not a single person ever checked in.
I would rather err on the side of caution than to have people dying in the streets. It was money we had to spend. We didn't really have a choice.
Mixed in with hotels and hospital beds are some rather unusual expenses. For example, the state dropped a lot of dough on sliced bread at a total cost of nearly $285,000. The Department of Corrections says COVID-19 shut down an in-house bakery, forcing them to buy bread from an outside vendor. So where are those 800 iPhones today? A spokeswoman tells us 26 of them are now in use as healthcare workers use it as a safer way to collect and store your medical records instead of pen and paper during a pandemic. One of them is reported stolen. The rest of those 800 in storage on standby, ready to be deployed and shipped across the state in the event that we encounter a second wave of COVID-19. Reporting in Springfield, Mark Maxwell.
Social distancing is one way to stop the spread of COVID-19, but when will people be able to shake hands or even hug again? Plus, college requirements are changing because of the pandemic, what some are saying students won't need for applying. And he's a former small-town athlete. Now, he's headed to the big city.